Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy DLloyd, and we are here, you guys, episode 1 of our new NBA Live 18 franchise mode series. Now, I made a video about it last week talking about which team we want to go with, and there was a ton of comments. A lot of you guys wanted the Phoenix Suns, and a lot of you guys wanted the Charlotte Hornets, but at the end of the day, we decided to go ahead and use the Charlotte Hornets. As for the settings, everything is basically going to be the default settings, except we turned off all CPU assistance. They're not going to be re-signing players for us or signing free agents for us, so everything will be done manually. But like I said, we're going to be using the Charlotte Hornets, and the reason why is because they are in a worse situation, in my opinion, cap-wise, than the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns have some young talent. Charlotte Hornets are pretty much stuck where they're at right now. You see them negative $16 million cap space. Don't have a ton of young talent on the team. A lot of the players are getting older, and then they just have Kemba Walker, who of course is their franchise player. So there's going to be a ton of trades that we'll probably end up doing in this series, especially if we're not competitive early. I don't see no point of holding on to some of these older and more expensive pieces. So taking a look at our roster, Kemba Walker, of course, he is our franchise guy. I don't see any way possible that I'm at least going to trade him. He might be traded in real life, but I don't see any way that I'm going to trade him. He even has quick development, still young. He can still, ball, 94 dribbling, which is great. And then the best part about it, though, is his contract, 2 years, $24 million, only $12 million a season. So unless he leaves and doesn't want to re-sign, we're not getting rid of him because that contract is just too good to be true. Only $12 million a year. That's a fantastic deal. So obviously, we're going to be holding on to Kemba Walker for a very long time, if possible. But there's other players on the team that we also need to try to get rid of. But Michael Carter-Williams, he's one that I thought about maybe moving, because I don't like playing with Michael Carter-Williams in this game. He also has slow development. That really doesn't help you at all in this game. But only $2.7 million for that price. You might have to hold on to him. I might think about signing another free agent point guard or trading when I decide to blow up this team essentially and rebuild with my own touch on it. But Michael Carter-Williams, currently, he will remain on the roster. Now, Batum, this is somebody who could be traded. And we'll go ahead and take a look why. He's a great player. I like him. He can play defense. He can shoot the ball. He can do a little bit of everything. But the contract for Nicholas Batum is somebody who we could essentially get rid of, especially if we can get paid back. Now, it's going to be tough to move some of these contracts, so we're going to have to attach some great players. But Batum, he has a high price tag. You see that 4 years, $102 million, getting about $23, $24 million every single season. So we could theoretically try to move him and then attach one of our lower ranked players who have a bad contract with Batum, and then try to get expiring deals back, and then that way when free agency comes, they can leave and we can get all that cap space. Now, Jeremy Lamb, he has slow development. That's one thing I don't like about him, but if we get him for the right price later on, it could probably be a decent player. But right now, I don't like his price either. Slow development. This guy's mid-range game is insane in this game at an 88. I definitely do like that, but it's not going to get any better anytime soon, trust me, with that slow development. So he's somebody who could be moved for the right price, or if we have to attach him in there. $7 million, not the most expensive guy in the world, not really hurting us. But like I said, if we have to throw him in there to get somebody back or maybe some draft picks, we'll definitely do that. Malik Monk, he's not going nowhere. We look for him to be playing, coming off the bench at least right now. We'll see how his career progresses. Only have normal development, so he's not going to develop into a superstar in this game. But we do like him. He's a straight scorer. That's all he really does. Doesn't really play defense, but he can score the rock. Coming off the bench with that second unit, he could definitely lead them. And then only $3 million a season. You can't complain about that whatsoever. And then the rest of our shooting guards, they're all expendable. Not really too worried about any of these guys. But small forwards, we only have one small forward, and that is Michael Kidd Gilchrist, MKG, guys. This guy's a defensive player. I like him because he plays defense, but the same situation. The Hornets pretty much have the same situation with a ton of guys on their roster. Just a bad contract, in my opinion. He's somebody else who could also be moved if I get the right pieces back in return. So, like I said, really doesn't do much. His mid-range game is decent. His three-point shot's only at 59, but he can play D. That is one thing I do like about MKG. And he's still young. I think he's 23 years old in the game, so really not old at all. Still a young piece, but like I said, if we can get the right pieces, we can move him. Now, his contract is 3 years, $39 million, $13 million a year. So, he could go. Basically, he could get traded if I could get some big pieces back or maybe some young guys back in exchange for MKG. Or if I have to add him in there, he could possibly go. Now, when I'm saying all these guys can go, I'm not going to trade every single one of them, but like I'm saying, I'm keeping the options open that these guys will end up moving. I will have to give flexibility with this team because right now financially this team is a mess, and that's why they really can't do nothing in real life, and they're going to have a fire sale. They're going to have to completely rebuild. We're going to have to rebuild in this game because, like I said, the financial situation with the Hornets really is not good. Cody Zeller, he's another situation in this. A decent player, 76 overall, but a 4-year, $55 million contract, getting about $13–14 million a year. Not bad for a starter, but you would hope that maybe you could get a little bit of a better starter out of this position. But he's somebody who I'm not really pushing to get rid of because he is our starting power forward. But Frank Kaminsky, the only reason I like him, he's not getting paid a ton of money. Yes, he's kind of been a little bit of a bust since coming into the NBA, but he's not getting paid a whole lot, and he is on an expiring contract, so he is set to become an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. So Frank Kaminsky is a guy that we might hold on to at least for this year, but once again, nobody besides Kemba Walker essentially and Malik Monk. Those are the only two untouchables. Anybody else could get traded for the right price. Marvin Williams, though, this is a guy that we want to get rid of. I like Marvin Williams a lot, especially in this game, but his contract, once again, is really bad in my opinion. I don't see any way I'm going to pay Marvin Williams this type of money. So this guy could get moved, but when you look at the trade block, not a lot of teams are interested in him, so we'll have to definitely attach him to some other trade if we want to get rid of Marvin Williams. But right now, 3 years, $43 million, there's just no way I'm paying Marvin Williams that type of money. So we need to get rid of him. He's one guy for sure I can tell you won't be on our roster past the NBA trade deadline. And then we go ahead and we take a look at our centers. All we have is Dwight Howard. I'm not in a rush to get rid of Dwight Howard. This guy can still ball. He can still grab rebounds. He can still protect the paint for us. So not a bad player at all. His contract, not that bad either. I mean, you do pay him about $25 million a season, but he can still do a lot for you, and he's going to be holding down the paint, and he's still, I believe, just 31 years of age. So I think Dwight Howard, unless we get a crazy deal, I don't plan on moving him. But you see the 2 years, $47 million, I don't think that contract is bad. But like I said, it's going to be a lot of rework and retooling with this team because of the financial situation, and that's why I end up taking this team. I figured like it'll be more of a challenge because we essentially have to rebuild it, tear this whole team down, rebuild our own team with our own players at our own prices. But this is the rotation I have as of right now, and these are also the available free agents. Nothing that was super intriguing, but these are the available free agents. Chris Bosh is there. Of course, I'm not going to sign him just because in real life he has the blood clots and all that good stuff. Andrew Bogut is a name that did interest me, as well as Larry Sanders. We'll see how the season goes. But those are two names that I might be looking at to get as a backup center, especially if we have some extra roster space after these trades. Power forward, none of these guys really interest me at all, so I'm not looking at any of these power forwards. Plus, we have a ton of power forwards on this team, so we're going to go ahead and skip those small forwards. We do need another small forward. If we do grab one, it'll probably be Kyle Anderson. Not a lot of small forwards out there to be got right now, so we'll probably go ahead and just get Kyle Anderson just to have a second one. But that's just about it. Shooting guards, I do like Monte Ellis, but we have a ton of shooting guards on the roster, so once again, this is not a position of need for us, so we're not going to go ahead and we're not going to sign any of these shooting guards. But for the point guards, I am thinking about grabbing another one to be the backup point guard, and Michael Carter-Williams will be the third string. I thought about Brandon Jennings, and I also thought about Trey Burke. Those are two possibilities that I might go with. As always, it's all going to depend upon what type of trades we end up doing. So expect this roster to be completely changed after year one, especially after year two. It is going to take a process. Not everybody's going to be traded right away, and we're going to see if we can win with the current roster. But if we can't win with this roster, then expect to go into a full rebuild mode with this team. But that is pretty much everything I have for this episode. As always, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below any roster suggestions you guys may have, any players you think I should target, any players you think I should trade. Let me know all that stuff in the comment section below. I hope you guys are excited for this series as I am. If you are, please go ahead, leave this video a like. It helps me out a lot, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy D Lloyd. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.